What if I told you that fear is not your enemy, that the thing you've been avoiding, hiding from, and shrinking before is not the threat, it's the teacher? Fear whispers in our ears when we stand on the edge of something meaningful, a new opportunity, a decision, a confrontation, a truth we're not ready to face. We've been taught to run from fear, to numb it, to silence it, to cover it with distraction. But the Stoics, the philosophers of ancient resilience, saw fear differently. They didn't believe in escaping it. They believed in examining it, walking toward it, using it. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic master, wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke." Fear is not the problem. Our relationship with fear is. This speech is not about eliminating fear. That's a fantasy. This is about transforming it, understanding its nature, and harnessing it as fuel, not chains. Because once you stop fighting fear, you begin to walk freely with it. And from that moment, nothing can stop you. You become dangerous, not to others, but to limitation itself, to the excuses that once ruled you, to the smallness that fear once used to keep you in place. So if you're tired of running, listen closely. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is one of the most ancient parts of us. It's primal, it's protective. It exists to keep us safe, to alert us to danger. But the problem arises when we mistake discomfort for danger. We fear things not because they are truly dangerous, but because we believe they are. Fear often arises not from the present, but from our thoughts about what might happen. It's the imagination, not reality, that fuels most of our suffering. Seneca, the great Stoic, wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many times have you feared a conversation, a change, a risk, and when it actually came, it was nothing like you imagined, or it never came at all? We fear rejection, so we stay silent. We fear failure, so we don't start. We fear judgment, so we conform. And slowly, without even noticing it, we build a life not around purpose, but around protection. But the Stoics taught us to challenge the fear, not avoid it. Epictetus said, "It is not death or pain that is to be feared, but the fear of pain or death." That is the true threat, not the event itself, but the fear of the event. Stoicism teaches us to separate what is within our control from what is not. And fear, most of the time, arises from our attachment to what we can't control: outcomes, opinions, unknowns. But here's the truth: you can't control the future, but you can control your response to it. And the moment you claim that response, fear loses its grip. The Stoics were warriors of the mind, not just in theory, but in practice. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during plague, war, betrayal, and loss. His life was not peaceful, yet his mind was. He journaled daily, not to escape fear, but to face it. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This was his mantra in the middle of chaos. Not a man detached from reality, but a man rooted in it, unshaken by the storms around him. The Stoics didn't believe in pretending fear didn't exist. They believed in moving through it with clarity. Seneca practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. He would imagine losing everything: wealth, status, health. Not to scare himself, but to neutralize the fear, to face it in advance, to rehearse adversity so that when it came, it held no power. Epictetus was born a slave, beaten, poor, powerless in the eyes of society. And yet, he taught kings. He lived with dignity and power because he ruled his inner world. He said, "Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. Fear is not in the world, it's in the interpretation of the world, and you control that interpretation." The Stoics did not fear pain, because they understood that pain is temporary. But the regret of cowardice? That lasts a lifetime. So, how do we transform fear into strength? How do we stop running and start rising? 1. Name the fear. You cannot conquer what you refuse to face. Most people don't even know what they're truly afraid of. They just feel the tightness, the hesitation, the anxiety. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Is it rejection, shame, loss, death? Be honest. Name it. Because when you name it, you take away its shadow. You bring it into the light. 2. Reframe the fear. What if fear isn't a warning, but a signpost? What if fear means this is the path? Most of the time, the things we fear are the very things that lead to growth. Starting the business, having the hard conversation, standing alone for what's right. These are not distractions. They are invitations to level up. Fear is not a wall, it's a doorway, but only the brave step through it. 3. Take small steps toward it. The Stoics were practical. They didn't believe in philosophy without action. Take one step toward the fear, then another. Not all at once. Progress, not perfection. Fear loses power when you move. It feeds on hesitation. It grows in the silence. But when you act, even trembling, it begins to shrink. 4. Detach from outcome. Fear often clings to outcomes. What if I fail? But failure is feedback, not finality. A Stoic detaches from what they can't control, the result, and focuses entirely on effort, virtue, and discipline. Do the right thing. Let the result be what it may. That is true freedom. 5. Visualize the worst, then accept it. Seneca's technique, imagine the worst-case scenario, then make peace with it. This doesn't make you pessimistic, it makes you bulletproof. When you've already made peace with the worst, you become fearless in the present. Fear is loudest when you're unprepared. Stoicism prepares you, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, to walk through fire with calm. History is filled with avage, people who turned fear into strength. James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy officer, was shot down and held as a prisoner of war for 7 years in Vietnam. His survival, rooted in Stoicism. He said, "I never lost faith in the end of the story. I confronted the brutal facts of my reality, but I never gave up." He credited Epictetus for saving his life. He faced beatings, isolation, torture, and yet he remained free in mind. That is the Stoic way. Navy SEALs and elite performers today study Stoicism because fear is not something they can afford to run from. They face it, train through it, rise because of it. Even in modern life, fear is everywhere. Job loss, social rejection, aging, illness, uncertainty. But the principles remain. Control what you can. Let go of what you can't. Act with virtue. Detach from outcome. Fear will always show up, but it doesn't get to drive. You do. To live without fear is not to feel nothing, but to feel deeply and move anyway. The Stoic warrior walks into fear, not because they enjoy pain, but because they know there is no progress without pressure. They do not wait for permission. They do not need the crowd. They do not ask, "What if I fail?" They ask, "What happens if I don't try?" They are calm in crisis, disciplined in chaos, focused in uncertainty. Fear knocks, and they open the door. Because once you understand that fear is a signal, not a sentence, you begin to live free. This mindset doesn't make you invincible, it makes you prepared. Stoicism trains you to endure what breaks others. In a world addicted to comfort, the Stoic chooses the harder path, not out of masochism, but out of wisdom, because they know the obstacle is the way. So now you know. Fear is not here to destroy you, it's here to develop you. It's not the enemy, it's the ally in disguise, the invitation to rise, to return to who you were meant to be, not a slave to fear, but a master of yourself. You don't eliminate fear, you walk with it. You learn from it. You use it. Marcus Aurelius faced war. Seneca faced exile. Epictetus faced cruelty. And none of them gave in to fear, because they knew what you now know. Fear isn't the thing that stops you. It's the thing that reveals you. So next time you feel it rising, don't run. Pause, breathe, listen, then take the next step. Fear is not your enemy. It's your teacher, your compass, your path. And now that you know that, there's nothing left to fear.